I've spent the last 100 days trying to go easy on Donald Trump because he's my commander in chief and he's somebody who I want to succeed. The arrogance of this man, if it weren't for me, you're a nobody. When you say stupidity like that, it shows your ignorance. It means that you are ignorant. It's too stupid to live. And now you're saying it's too complicated for you? It's too hard? It's too expensive? Get the hell out. I want him to succeed. I really do. Donald Trump is not a smart man. You really don't have a functioning brain cell. He's an embarrassment to the American people. I gave him every chance in the world. He's a liar that it would sink into Donald Trump's dense little orange face head. I want him to succeed. I really do.
Russia doesn't want the strip that they have now. Russia wants all of Ukraine. And if it weren't me, they would keep going.
The arrogance of this man, if it weren't for me. First of all, Donald Trump, you are about as significant as my fingernail right here. You're a nobody. You may be the president of the United States, but the world is functioning without you. You had a possibility to be an American leader, to make our country relevant. When you say stupidity like that, it shows your ignorance. Do you think the Kremlin for a moment is listening to that going, oh my God, he's on to us? You know, it means that you are ignorant. It means the people advising you are ignorant. Russia doesn't want all of Ukraine. There is zero evidence to support that stupidity. Russia wants Ukraine to stop being seen itself as a base for NATO to carry out America's strategic objective, which you signed off on and are still signing off on, to destroy Russia, the strategic defeat of Russia. That's your policy, Trump. I dare you to back away from it. You can't because you won't, because, hey, maybe you don't even know it because you're too stupid to live. Russia doesn't want anything but peace. But the peace has to be so that the people who fought on side by side with Nazi Germany, we're coming up to the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. And the United States taxpayer is supporting the Nazis in Ukraine who are fighting the Russians who are our allies. That's what's going on here. Donald Trump is too stupid to live. I want him to succeed. I really do. I want every president to succeed. But this is a man, and you just said it, I don't know if I will support the Constitution. Then get the hell out of the office, because you took an oath to uphold and defend that Constitution. And now you're saying it's too complicated for you. It's too hard. It's too expensive. Get the hell out. America is about the Constitution. It's the only thing we're about. We are defined by that document. And when you deviate from that document, you say you are un-American. And I hear in telling you, Donald Trump, you're the most un-American son of a bitch that's ever sat in the White House. And that says a lot, because I wasn't a big fan of Joe Biden either. $5,000 Ukrainians are dying a week, maybe a couple hundred Russians. But if you think for a second Russia is being bled to death on the battlefield, you really don't have a functioning brain cell. Donald Trump is not a smart man. Donald Trump may have some basic sense when it comes to, I want peace. But if you want peace, you have to change the foundation. Peace with Russia means you need to change the basic Russia policy. Are we seeking to destroy Russia, or are we seeking to stabilize relations with Russia? I have to say, I mean, I don't mean to go down this path, but any idiot that puts himself out there as the Pope at a time when the Catholic Church is electing a new Pope, this man doesn't deserve to be president of the United States. He's an embarrassment to the American people, literally an embarrassment. I'm tired of this buffoon.
All right,
I gave him every chance in the world. I gave him every chance in the world, and he humiliates the American people on a daily basis every time he opens his mouth. Judge, it's worse than that. See, Donald Trump runs around and says, oh, this is Joe Biden's war.
It's not Joe Biden's war.
This is Donald Trump's war. Donald Trump made this war. Donald Trump designed this war. It's not just that he sent more military aid. Understand the underlying policy. The underlying policy of the United States during the first Trump term is the same policy that is in place today, to destroy Russia from within. Donald Trump has not reversed course on that policy. This is what the CIA was doing under Donald Trump for one reason and one reason only, because we were building a Ukrainian army in the West. And then there's a slide that was put out by the Department of Defense under Donald Trump that had an arrow that said, so we can take them over here and kill Russians in the East. That's Donald Trump's policy. He's a liar when he says this war would have happened. He planned this war. He wanted this war. This is Donald Trump's war. And one of the problems is he can't divorce himself from it, because this, at the end of the day, was his policy objectives. Donald Trump is a simple mind. I mean, we've always known this. He's not a complicated thinker, especially when it comes to foreign policy. He knows nothing about foreign policy. And he's a man who literally repeats the last thing he was told, that it would sink into Donald Trump's dense little orange face head, but it didn't. This is a narcissist. He can't handle the fact that Putin is going to win the war. And Donald Trump isn't going to get credit that when this war ends, it's going to be Putin's victory. He can't have, this man is so jealous of what's going to happen on May 9th. He can't stand the fact that Vladimir Putin is going to sit there and have a victorious army march by celebrating the defeat of Nazi Germany. Trump could have been standing side by side with him, but he can't stand the fact that Xi Jinping is going to be there. Now, Ukraine, buckle in, pal. You're in for another 2 years of bloodshed, and it's going to be a decisive Russian victory unless you double down on stupid and say, hey, Europe, let's fight the Russians. We have to do something about the Russians. And then what? We go back to having a nuclear war? You know, I've spent the last 100 days trying to go easy on Donald Trump because he's my commander in chief and he's somebody who I want to succeed. And I still want him to succeed. But I think 100 days is more than enough time for the president of the United States to, figure out who he is and what he stands for, especially a president that's previously served 4 years in the White House. And so I think it's time now for the gloves to come off. This administration has failed across the board, failed. And it's our job as citizens to call it out. We have to.
It is. Thank you for staying with me till now. Today, in most Western countries, you are arrested for saying a quarter of how Scott Ritter described the US leader and the policies it pursues. In Britain, Germany, and the Netherlands, people are serving long sentences for less. This doesn't mean America is free. It simply makes me question Scott Ritter's game plan and who he is controlled by. What fool doesn't know the US president is a mere puppet of faceless elite zillionaires, trillionaire oligarchs, billionaire donors, the level we're allowed to see, and evil outside foreign interests also under the control of all of the above? Apparently only the willingly blind or Scott Ritter. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to help me make more content like this. I will end with this short message that President Trump, Scott Ritter, in fact all of us, should take note of, and as promised, I will have that very final clip.
Any thought of getting Marco Rubio to turn my passport over to me is now gone, but I don't care.